sa impeachment na ongoing, the first week has been on the fourth article of impeachment. I think much of the confusion arises from the lack of standardization. So hindi ka agad nagkaroon ng parameters. It should have been the defense should have insinuated already the parameters kasi sila yung dapat magko-contain ng presentation ng prosecution. And of course, ang prosecution would insist on a wider latitude rather than a narrower one. But I think it's necessary na magkaroon muna ng consensus ang mga tao kung ano ba talaga yung Article 4 and ano yung standards. Otherwise, magkakaroon talaga ng parating debate kung sino nakalamang, sino hindi nakalamang, and so on.
Remind us, Doc Melissa, ano nga yung Article 4 ng Articles of Impeachment? Anong grounds po yun?
Based on sa Article 4 nakalagay, the grounds is culpable violation of the Constitution, high crimes, and betrayal of public trust.
High crimes?
Yung
Alam ko may high crimes lang doon sa England eh. Kasi may hari doon eh. So, specifically, ano pong evidence nila na sinasite sa Articles of Impeachment under these grounds? Including high crimes and betrayal of public trust. Alin po doon?
Yung constituent acts niya or yung pagkocontract ng assassin, yung grave threats against the president, the first lady, and the speaker, former speaker, and then inciting to sedition. So far, I think na-cover nila yung tatlong constituent crimes na yun on the basis of secondary testimony from the NBI. So, let me just explain na pag culpable violation of Constitution, of course, dapat meron isang constitutional provision na nilalabag. And that this would be possible. So, parang kasi nagkakaroon ng disconnect between the article, the grounds, and the constituent acts. Kasi, for instance, culpable violation, hindi naman siya pwede sa grave threat, hindi naman siya pwede sa inciting. Kasi, in fact, protected speech nasa Constitution. It could fall under contracting if it is established, for instance, na merong attempt to destroy the constitutional succession. Tapos, pwede ganon.
Attempt to kill BBM.
Yeah. That would be a very
BP
difficult...
Sara will succeed, di ba? Yan.
So, hindi lang yung nag-contract ka na assassin. In addition to that, dapat ipuproof mo na yung purpose is to break the constitutional succession.
No, that becomes a culpable violation of the Constitution.
Pagdating naman sa high crimes, medyo mataas na masyado to na standard. Hindi na siya masasakop yung mga grave threat lang, hindi na siya sasakop yung mga inciting.
Nung panahon pa yata yan ni, yung high crimes na yan, baka panahon pa yan ni King Henry VIII.
Oo.
Yung
Pero
mga,
existing siya sa...
mahirap yung sinasabi nila na, kasi minura, sabi ng agent kasi minura-mura niya ang presidente. Yun. Kaya siguro may gigil dyan. Pwede murahin ko po si BBM, hindi naman po yun high crime. Hindi naman po yung treason kung murahin ko siya, di ba? Sabihin ko, sabi ng kapatid mo, bangag ka. Hindi naman yun culpable violation of the Constitution or a high crime. Kasi in the Philippines, wala naman pong definition at example ng high crimes. Kaya po masyado na pong mataas itong kumbaga sa suntok na po sa buwan ito. Itong high crime. So, kaya pinipilit nila yung grave threats. Hindi po ba, Doc Melissa?
Yes. So, just to make sure na maano yung high crime. For instance, high crime, kung nagnakaw ka nag-corrupt ka ng trillions, yon high crimes yon. Whereas mag-corrupt ka ng millions.
1.9 trillion, high crime. That's,
high crime talaga yon. So, yung mga millions lang, medyo hindi na siguro. It could just be ordinary
bakit daw nila
corruption.
Nilagay ang grave threat sa high crime at betrayal of public trust?
I think ito lang yung merong at least pwede mag-testify na tapos nakikita ng tao kasi na-publish na yung video. I think ito yung pinaka reason kung bakit nila siningit yung grave threat. But grave threat itself, hindi siya magko-qualify under betrayal, hindi siya magko-qualify under high crimes, culpable. So let us look at betrayal. Wala tayong standard. Titingin tayo comparative constitutional law. Titingin tayo sa Korea.
Oh,
Sa
example,
Korea,
Doc. Example, yung sabi mo, Korea, betrayal of public trust. Ano po yung example?
yes. Yung si President Yoon, betrayal of public trust dahil nag-declare siya ng martial law at nag-deploy siya ng military na in violation ng constitutional procedure nila.
Oh, hindi
So,
approved ng
na-convict-
Congress. Oh.
Opo. Na-convict siya ng Constitutional Court ng Korea. Wala kasi silang impeachment court. Ito naman next, si Park, extortion and ginamit ng ang office na is private individual to govern Korea. So yun, talagang betrayal of public trust.
Oo.
In all other cases, walang gumagamit ng betrayal of public trust. So in this case, tayo lang at saka Korea ang gumagamit. So Korea could be a useful standard as far as the judges would be concerned in terms of weighing the evidence and so on. Now, sa ating case, there was an attempt, dalawang cases, yung Gonzales versus Office of the President and then Ignacio versus Sulit. Doon, diniscuss yung dismissal ng Deputy Ombudsman on the ground of gross neglect of duty, grave misconduct, constituting betrayal of public trust. So, ganun din kataas ang ginamit na standard, gross neglect of duty, grave misconduct.
Kasi I think they're connecting it also, Doc, to the principle of public office is a public trust. So that's why yung betrayal of public trust doon sa Sulit is yung
grave misconduct.
ano niya, yung in other words yung duties niya, no? Di ba?
Yes. Yes.
Yun ba allegation doon na mayroon siyang gross neglect ng duty niya?
Yes.
Yes. So
So,
kaya betrayal of public trust, di ba?
Yes. So,
Because that is his public office, it requires a
Right.
high standard of trust, di ba?
So at least meron na tayong masasabing measure kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng betrayal of public trust. Although, in this case, hindi impeachment. But then we have to remember na yung case na to stemmed from an interpretation of Republic Act 6770 na nagkalagay doon na with respect to the Deputy Ombudsman, etc., they can be dismissed on the same grounds as the dismissal of the Ombudsman but with due process. So, in effect, ini-interpret na ng decisions ng OP and the Ombudsman in these dismissal cases kung ano ibig sabihin ng betrayal of public trust.
What about the case of Gonzales?
The same with Gonzales, ganun din. Actually, yung core issue doon was whether may jurisdiction yung president to dismiss the deputy ombudsman. But that's beside the point. Kasi yung dismissal there was based on the finding of gross neglect of duty and misconduct constituting betrayal of public trust. So yun yung phraseology.
Okay, so that's that's a very good example of a standard that is now in
Yes.
our jurisprudence, di ba?
Yes, that's correct. Tama.
I think in the offer of evidence of the prosecutor, he was not very clear what the testimony of these two NBI agents were for, di ba? And then when the defense counsel was objecting to these testimonies, sabi niya, you cannot object at this point. You can object only in the offer of exhibits. But let's talk about the procedure another day.